Hello, everybody. Have you seen the light? I've seen the light. I've seen the light. All right, let's try to get this thing rigged up better. Na. I just use my glasses to adjust it, but I don't know where they're at. That'll work. There you go. All righty. And that backlight looks like it's okay. Not shining bright into the phone anyway, into the camera. Oh. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. For what it's worth. And now in our For What It's Worth department. This is the rest of the story by Paul Harvey. And the rest of the story involves several thousand bunny trails. Or whatever you want to call them. Branches, forks in the road. Meandering trails that have branches leading off of them, branches leading off of them, branches leading off of them, ad infinitum. Okay, so I've been busy. That's why I haven't been on, obviously. Life has been throwing curveballs at us right and left, me anyway. And let me give a quick a summary. There's quite a few people that would like to be here, and rather than where they're at, shall we say, they'd like to bug out. They'd like to have a soft landing spot, a soft landing place, a place to go to, a refuge, a bug out location. And very few people have done that, taken that into account. They buy. I know so many people are buying prepping stuff. They got tons and tons and tons and tons of prepping stuff. No way to move it anywhere. And suddenly they decide they need to move, and then they're in a panic. Try to avoid that. For people that are listening to me that haven't gotten to that point yet, or aren't to the emergency stage yet, please think it through. Try to have some way to get your things to where you want to go. And number one, try to have a place to go to. There was an article called 20 Things You'll Need when the next depression starts, the next Great Depression starts, something like that. And I rewrote it because I didn't really agree with it. Number one, you got to have a place to go to. You have to have a go-to place. That's called a BOL, a bug out location. Number two, you got to have a bug out vehicle, a BOV, a bug out vehicle. And you might want to have some bug out shoes and some bug out clothing. You get a bug out bag, a bob bag, or a good bag, get out of Dodge bag. Get out of Dodge bag. I mean, if anybody's been listening to me for any period of time, I'm assuming that I'm only talking to the remnant believers. To the remnant, because everybody else is toast. Spiritually or physically. And I'm not kidding. Get off the West Coast, get off the East Coast, period. I know a lot of you are on the East Coast. One of you is on the West Coast. That's interesting. It's a lot closer to get here from the East Coast, obviously. My sense for quite a while, and I don't know if it's changed much, is that the bigger disasters, I mean, not extinction level, but coastal ending event, coastal leveling event, whatever like that, CLE, coastal leveling event, probably going to start on the East Coast. I just have a sense that this is my guess. I look at the big picture. I look at news. I look at what people are saying. I see what I believe the Father's doing. That's all I am. I'm just trying to read the signs. Trying to read the billboards as we're driving along this road that we call life. As we go down this road that we call life. Yeah. Wow. That was a song. We'll go down a road we've never been on before. Yeah, thanks a lot. Anyway, I just kind of read the signs, and many years ago, about 1994, based on what I heard a guy preach, I prayed, Father, if it's your will, please show me what you're doing in this world. And if it's your will, I'd like to be part of that. Please let me be a part of that. Please let my family be a part of that, be part of the building up of your kingdom. And, I think that my prayers have been answered to a large degree. I believe I've been part of that operation, that majestic, monstrously huge working that is too big for people to see. That's the problem. Nobody understands it. I mean, I can talk to people and talk to them, explain it all out, and they just look at me with you know, let's play cards, let's play chess, let's go dig a hole, whatever. So, people don't hear, and so this, I think most people are aware that supposedly Rock is going to get here from Colorado, still en route. Please be praying for that situation and several others like him, similar situations. Dave down in Texas and Jack on Myth Mountain. Please pray for Jack. Seriously. Very evil things are going on there, and I'm very concerned about her. So, anyway, we're seeing, I believe, here, I'll tell you what I believe we're seeing. I believe we're seeing now an increasing level, and we've had since 2008, an increasing level of spiritual warfare. And I'm saying an increasing level of demonic activity. I'm saying people that I consider friends, believers, as far as I understand it, saying things that are demonic, quoting other people that are demonic. I used to call it, for a long time, I called it, people are thinking with other people's brains. They're just mindlessly repeating things that other people have said. And when you give power to those words, it has force in the world. And that's not good. I don't care, whatever. Not my problem is a terrible one. If you don't care about other people's things or the people, then you're the priest, you're the Levite walking along the road, and there's an injured guy in the ditch, and you just walk by and go, not my problem, not my problem. I'm not my brother's keeper. Am I my brother's keeper? Yeah, you are. That's a question, right? Am I my brother's keeper? Where's Abel? Am I my brother's keeper? Yeah. Well, you're going to be held accountable for their death. We're seeing an increasing level of spiritual warfare, and so just ask Jack. Just ask me. There are spiritual entities in this world, and there's the little guys, the bigger guys above them, and the army. The captains of tens, captains of hundreds, captains of thousands. In Israel, that's how they appointed the people of Israel, and kind of the same thing, probably in the evil side of things. So, try not to spill this. Hang on. What can I do about it? Friend Dave said, "Is there anything we can do? What can we do?" Well, we can do a lot. We can speak. We can get together. We can become more effective at what we're doing. We can grow more food. We can build more houses. We can care about people more. We can work together more. We can change the world. We can turn this world upside down. You ever heard of the butterfly effect? A butterfly flaps its wing on this side of the world and creates causes a tornado on the other side of the world. A little person can make a difference. You know, there's a saying that says, for lack of a shoe, for lack of a nail, the shoe was lost. For lack of a shoe, the horse was lost. For lack of a horse, the rider was lost. For lack of a rider, the battle was lost. For lack of a battle, the war was lost. You know, compounding effects, unintended consequences, whatever you want to call it, collateral damage. I see it happening. Now maybe I'm just seeing hints in my mind. I'm seeing things happen that if this guy hadn't said this, he wouldn't have been talking when this truck went by that he needed to get a ride into town with. And so somebody else had to take him into town, and who knows what happened because of that. You know, we can flap our gums and waste a lot of time and do a lot of damage. So, yeah, my throat's a little scratchy. Pardon me. Hopefully that'll warm it up a little bit. Not that warm, but maybe it'll warm it up. My feet are in the bag, I think. What can I do about it right now? Well, I think one thing this has been on my heart for some time to go back to reading, and with spring here, I think I can get outside, and I know I can get outside more. You know, and I'm gonna figure out a place, probably in the near Airstream. We got it cleaned up. Like I say, a friend came over, kind of a domino thing of rock being out here from Colorado. I asked for help, and this one young man contacted me, and his name is Timothy, and you know, he had a truck and it wouldn't make it. But I got another email shortly thereafter, another man offering to help, and he went out to drive with Help Rock. So, but when Timothy, then I was up here in the Airstream, and my back's been hurting really, really bad. It's out, and I need chiropractor, I need trigger pump mouth therapy, something adjustments. Because sometimes it's like I can't even stand. I can't stand on my right. I know it's in my right hip or buttock. There's a knot in there somewhere. I need to get it smashed down. I need to get my daughter over here. She's got a really sharp elbow, and she can make you scream bloody murder in pain, screaming like a little schoolgirl. And she probably enjoys doing it. I'm not sure, but that's what I need. Somebody that can do trigger pump mouth therapy. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, man, I don't know if it's gonna work. So, you know, I do what I can do. I do what I can with what money I have. I fully believe that I've believed this for a long time. I can still believe it. It doesn't hurt anything. I came to believe I would be, you know, given or put in stewardship of, you know, something order of $12 million. $12 million to be exact, okay? I said I kind of recounted this before. If I go into any detail at all, because I don't have the voice for it tonight. But you know, there's several people, three people particularly, because I asked six people. This is before the $12 million thing came up, because I adjusted mine up to 18 million because of this. I asked six people to give me a budget of what they would do if I gave them $1 million. I don't know where I don't know where I got the idea from. Six people. I wrote to six people I thought were really good leaders. I trusted them. If you know, I see them making do with nothing, and I see them working their butt off, and I see them spending all their own money to make a refuge, a place for people to be, a soft landing place. And one of them, Michael Stockinger, spent 2 weeks at our place, and then he went down to their place and spent several months there helping them and on the farm. Built himself a cabin while he was there, and when he left, he sold the cabin to an old couple for $1,200. So anybody can do that kind of thing if they just read directions and follow the instructions, you know. So, I do what I can do with what I have, and I don't have $12 million right now, but I have a little bit of money every month. I spend about half of that on helping people getting ready. This month I bought a demand shower thing because with one or two more people coming here, we're not going to be using somebody else's shower all the time. It ain't going to happen. We got to have a bath or shower. You can do. There's people on here, Zimbabwe, Zach, and Jack, who one of them I think said haven't had a shower in 3 or 6 years, something like that. I'm not sure. And so I think Sister Linda and Collins used to say, smells like a good. I think they should take a bath. Smells like a good idea to me. Well, when they get here, I want them to be able to take a bath and a shower. After the divorce, I was homeless, literally. Slept under the cabin here for a day on the ground. There's 2 nights during that first week. I don't have any recollection. I never could figure out where I slept. I don't know what I did in the day. I don't know if I just had a TIA, a transient ischemic attack. I don't know. No memory whatsoever of 2 nights, 2 full days. Like the first time I spent here, I can't even remember any of it now. But anyway, on the fact that the only thing I remember was one of the cabin was kind of sleeping in my van 1 or 2 nights. But anyway, let's see. So, I want people to be able to take a shower and have a halfway decent, um, you know, soft landing spot. I think it was Zimbabwe Zach, and we were on the phone, or she wrote me something and said, I need a safe landing spot. And on the phone, she said, I wanted to say soft landing spot, but I thought it would sound like a wuss, like a sissy. And then the very next night, you use that exact same phrase, soft landing spot. It's important. That's why Turtle Mountain is up there on the border of Canada and North Dakota. That was created as a soft landing spot for a woman that was supposed to be falling from the sky. That's the old Indian tale. And then the Great Spirit told to prepare for this woman falling out of the sky. Well, they realized it wasn't going to be big enough, so they made it bigger. 30 miles and then 50 miles wide. It's a big plateau, raised area, artificially built. Think about it. I thought, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought 1,500 feet off the surrounding plains at first. It's worn down over the years. It doesn't look like a flat plain anymore. Anyway, point being is that people need to have a decent, some kind of. People are going to come into the city, and y'all are used to living in comfort and nice big houses, and some of you are in mansions, and that's wonderful. I'm happy for you. I've never had that. My wife and I, when we were first married, we agreed that we would rather live in a tiny cabin in the mountains than in a mansion in Denver. Well, here I am in a tiny trailer. But from the time we left Denver, we were living in little tiny houses, 600 square feet. So I'm not going to go over that. I said that recently anyway. Already, so I'm not going to go over that again. But the dealie is that when I was first, after the divorce, I was kind of bouncing between here and another farm about 15 miles away from here. And the first time I walked in that other farm, the man said, "Would you like to take a shower?" And I just started crying. I mean, when you know that somebody cares about you, it's very touching. When you feel that nobody cares about you, it's hard. That's kind of the way I feel right now. People go to town, they don't bother to tell me they're going. They spend all day shopping for groceries. They don't tell me. They don't bother to get me anything or tell me that they went or call me and ask me if I need anything. I text them and I call them and they won't tell me. They won't answer the phone. They won't answer the text. Come back with a car full of groceries and I haven't gone shopping in over a month. That kind of hurts. And they, I need to go to the bank. Well, that happened anyway. The Lord provides. I mean, I'm not whining and complaining terribly much. A man that I used to know used to say, "Not complaining, just explaining." And my ex-wife would say, "I'm not explaining, I'm just complaining." which is basically all she did her whole life. Self-pity. And if you have a problem with self-pity, please deal with it. See a counselor. Pray. That's why I pray. If you have the demons delivered, self-pity. There's no room for self-pity. None. I mean, I have too much of it. But I mean, just when somebody that's all they do, and I'm not talking about any in particular, but it's bad. And I saw that in people's life that I loved very much, destroyed their life. I mean, just make a mess out of it. In fact, I said the only tears that person cries is for themselves, and my son said, "Yep, you're right." So anyway. So what can we do? We can work together. I want to read something. This is really cool. If I can pull it up here, I think I can. Get out of the way. Go on. Out, 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 out. My son has a skid loader over here. I was going to get filters for it, and he got them. That's good. Oil and fuel filter. Changed them out. Should have gotten an air filter too, but I'm not sure he did. But anyway, I was looking for filters, Neil, from Bobcat. They're like $93, and if you spend $99, you get free shipping. Well, filters conveniently $93, but he got a fuel oil and fuel, so he got his free shipping. But where is it? Come on. But on Amazon they're like $25 and this and that, and I know they're all aftermarket imitation, and I've learned my lesson on just weed whacker heads. If you got a weed whacker, there's a Speed Feed 400. It's the best one in the world. It's simple. You can zip it out. You can pull the line out and run a new line through without taking the head off. Very efficient. Very awesome. So I thought I'd send it to an email, but I think I didn't. Okay, I know what I can find. Easy sneezy. So the dozer, the skid loader, if I say dozer, that I mean skid loader, but it's a little bulldozer kind of sort of, but not really. The loader is Bobcat, and I noticed that the parent company was, hold on, Doosan, Doosan. I'm like, is that Chinese? And if you get enough to market pop, the parts made in China. And the thing's made in China. What's the big difference? So I looked it up, and it was not made in China. Made in South Korea. And gotta read you the no internet. Oh, come on. Say it isn't so. Wi-Fi's on. What the heck's going on with that noise? That's not fair. Dum. The story you're about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. Yeah. Is that Dragnet? Yeah, Dragnet. Okay. Oh, fluff, as the dogs say. Oh, heckers. Turn on. Don't tell me it's dead. It's dead, Jim. Darn it. Okay. See, this pulls up. So very cool. I looked it up in the two words. It's two words, do and sign. And sand like sand, like green. I don't know if that's what it is. Where a lot of times common words are common in many languages. When Thomas Jefferson sent Lewis and Clark out, he said, "Be sure and watch out for white Indians that speak Welsh and Hebrew." Oh yeah, really? Okay. Well, they get to North Dakota. They get to North. Get this. I just mentioned it earlier. They get to North Dakota, Turtle Mountain, and there's blonde-haired, blue-eyed Indians. that speak Welsh and Hebrew. The chief's name is Big White because he's 6'5", 350 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyed. In China, at Urumqi, China, there's a mummy with blonde hair with a gold crown on his head. I can't tell if he's blue eyed because the eyes aren't there. Kind of gone. They kind of went away a few thousand years ago. But anyway, in the middle of Australia, there's one of these plateaus, arcs, whatever you want to call them. And the kids there, you got a 97% chance of having blonde children. In the middle of Australia. In the middle of Africa, guess what? There's a 200-mile arc raised plateau in the shape of 1/3 of a pie. Don't ask me how blonde people down in Africa, but I don't really remember that part of it. But anyway, I'm telling you all that to say something like, the men in India, the men in Indians were there in the Turtle Mountain. So Turtle Mountain was created as a soft landing spot, a place to live that would be safe, have food, material for heating and cooking, cleaning, and all the different things that you need. And give me a minute. I was going to Turtle Mountain. Why was I going to Turtle Mountain? People, language. Somebody tell me, quick. So if we keep on track. What bunny trail I got off on? I know I got off on bunny trails. Oh, stop it. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Where's my stylus? That's what I need. There it is. There it is. There it is. Come on. Even with the stylus, I did it. Sorry. One comment that said hi. That's weird. Come on. I'm not going to talk for nothing. Throw peanuts. Throw rotten eggs. Throw tomatoes. Do something. Where was I at? I don't know. Somebody tell me something. Your cart would be bigger than ours. Yeah, just for the first time, I've set up on Amazon. I got set up a wish list. I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that. I don't know how to make it. I'll figure it out someday. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we need to do. Um, I had a train of thought there. If someone can refresh my memory, I lost track when I started talking about Lewis and Clark. I was talking language. I got to go backwards here. Okay, I'm too tired to do that. Language, Lewis and Clark, Mandan Indians. Da 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 da. Safe havens. I apologize. Did I say something about a cart? I don't know. Yep. You got to be tough to get old. Yeah, that's. I like that thing. Is that just because I'm old doesn't mean that I'm safe. Right? You know, I'm old. That means I've lived this long. What did I say about a cart? Okay, anyway. Um, let me go back to whatever I was. I'll just start on a new topic and maybe I'll remember what I was at. So we're going to some changes. We're seeing more spiritual warfare going on, more demonic activity. Okay, you got to believe that. You got to accept that because it's true. And if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. So, God's brought forth leaders, set up leaders, and I love that word that guy had. Guys, some the Lord just gave me, and I had to write it down. You can take it for what it's worth. People that are on here are not on here for fortune, fame, or to be in the spotlight. They've been alone. They've been kept isolated for years, not even knowing that they're in training. This army that God is raising up, some have come on, some have done. I can't quite say these. Some have done rose up, some haven't been come out yet. Their voice will shake the dead branches from the trees, and their tongue shall be as cloven tongues of fire. Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. They are untouchable. And there's people that the Father's been working with over the years and preparing for a certain time, a certain battle. Like I said, Charles Martel, sorry. I'm sorry, Thomas. Charles Martel, for his entire life, was prepared for one battle, the Battle of Tours. From the time he was an infant, probably before he was born, he was prepared for that battle. So don't make fun of people that are in leadership. Moses didn't go out and say one day, I think I'm going to become a great guy and go kick Pharaoh's ass and set all these people free. That ain't what happened. If you think that's what happened, you're an idiot. Read the Bible. I want to do this. I don't want to do this. You're going to do it. I can't speak. Your brother Aaron will speak. Just do it. Actually, I was on the phone with one guy. It's kind of a long story, bunny trail story, but I'll tell it anyway. What the heck? Oh boy, this is a long one. Okay. My business partner, tuningelement.com, told me that we should watch this movie with Brendan Fraser and Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones guy. It was a true story. I told this before. I don't care. I'm going to tell it again. True story it was. And it's about a eccentric research professor at the University of Nebraska, of all places. See, somebody's in Nebraska right now. I wonder where that place is. Where's the University of Nebraska? It's not in Syracuse, is it? Anyway, there's a really weird disease, and this Brandon Fraser's a businessman, and both of his children have this disease, and they're quadriplegics in wheelchairs and running the thing with their mouth, and the wheelchair with a little toggle switch. And always have to be so long. I don't know. Okay. It's cut it short. Cut it short. Well, nutshell version. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if to tell the whole movie story, but he finally gets with Harrison Ford, and he goes back to his wife, and he says, "I found him. I found him. I talked to him. So what'd you do? I promised. He's going to do it." He says, "How much is it going to cost?" He said, 500. She goes, $500? He goes, "No, 500,000. We don't have that kind of money." Well, that's it, and that's to get the ball rolling. Take $10 million to even get 500,000, which is a down payment to like a retainer fee. That was 500,000 was a retainer fee. 10 million to get the ball rolling. Okay, so we, what a mess. He told us that on Thursday. We went our anniversary. This would have been 2013, probably. It was during the founding of the Welfare Neighbor Alliance, because it was right about January 3rd, 2009, was the kickoff dinner in the Darth Vader building. They call it downtown Springfield, Hammond Towers. Okay, top floor of this penthouse suite. And Timothy, I need some more of that tincture. He gave me a tincture for my brain, and I'm eating organic food now. So, um, so Welfare Neighbor Meeting Alliance, that was 2003. So sometime in that span of time, it had might have been 2010. Whatever, it doesn't make any difference when it was. Jerry, just shut up. I apologize for that. I mean, people, it was Tuesday. No, it was Wednesday. No, Tuesday. No, it was Wednesday. No, I'm sorry. Doesn't make any difference when it was. Okay. The Ozarks are the place for us rebels. Okay, um, so our anniversary, we went out for dinner on a Friday night. He told us like on Thursday or Wednesday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. Doesn't make a difference. Went out dinner, and after dinner we went to check out the movie theater. We drove an hour away to go to dinner, Mexican restaurant. Went to a movie theater. Nah, nothing there. Went to a Red Box, got that movie. I don't remember the name of it. It wasn't Risky Business. It was something kind of like that. I don't know. Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser. Um, so we went home Friday night and watched that movie. And in the movie, what I just quoted, she said 500,000 down, 10 million to get the ball rolling. Just 10 million just to get the ball rolling. Starting to get it rolling. It's going to cost a lot more than that. So Saturday, I go to the Welfare Neighbor Alliance Gateway Farm picnic. Okay. And Rural Chapel. Just a little side story here, a little backstory. Okay. Rural Chapel. Ever heard of Ozark Mountain Daredevils? Yeah, that was Rural Chapel's band. And he sent me a picture one time of it. I was like stunned, because it was like the photograph was taken from like a mile away, and the stage looked like it was 300 feet high. I don't know how tall it was, but it was huge. Sedalia, Missouri, and it was like, I don't know if it was bigger than Woodstock, but it looked like it was. The entire field was floating in urine and feces. The hippies were just wading through urine and poop. The whole field was just flooded with poop. There were not enough outhouses. It was just it was horrific. To this day, they say that people are still addicted to drugs from the drugs because when they left, they just left all the drugs. A lot of the dealers just left drugs there. So that whole area is rife with probably what seeded. It was probably the seed that created meth mountain. Yeah, I don't know the spiritual evil of it. So thanks a lot. Anyway, so Rural Chapel's farm, Gateway Farm, and I'm there for a few minutes. I walk up to a farmer who I knew very well. We were friends at the time, and I have a lot of former friends. It seems, I don't know. He signed my stupid, retarded excommunication email from the retard himself, head Jezebel. Spiritual warfare. Jezebel is capable of using 2 and 3 people at the same time. In this case, she used about 7 or 8 people, men. They claimed to be men, but they weren't men. They didn't have any balls. Totally ballless. I know a lot of women that have more balls than the men that were at that meeting. Men's. the girly men that were at that meeting. Of course, one woman threatened to. He said, "I won't give you the right hand fist. I'll give you the left hand fist." He had a big ham-sized fist. He said, "I'll give you the left hand fist. I would have kicked you a long time ago." I heard somebody. He apologized to somebody else. He said, "I was wrong." He's never apologized to me. They all said they'd love me and that they wanted me to bow down and kiss my wife's ass and take my website offline, trash my book, take it off the lulu.com, shut down the YouTube channel. They ordered me to do that, and I said, how about no? How about hell no? So anyway, I've told that before too, but anyway, it was interesting time. Jezebel from hell, and Jezebel is still alive today. When Jehu ran her into the wall, smashed her into the wall, and the dogs ate her, they left three things. They didn't eat her skull, they did not eat the palms of her hands, and they did not eat her feet. Those parts of her are still alive today. I got slapped in the head with full force from two women, right-handed, left ear, slammed into my eardrum, full force. Bam, bam, bam. Both of them saying, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. You think that was Jezebel? Yeah, it was Jezebel. Jezebel hell. So rural chapel, gateway farmer, walking to this farmer, and I said, I believe there's going to be 3 million people, refugees coming here. Do you have an idea how fast starvation starts in? He was just fire in his eyes. I was like, whoa, dang, that's scary. The very next man I walked up to, and I'm going to be crying here in a minute because this is going to be so hard to tell. Holy shit. If I disappear off the side of the bed, the mattress is off the bed halfway, and I got to get it back on. I'm just barely hanging on here. And if I get pinned back there, it'll be a long time, so just hang up and somebody try to call somebody over here. Anyway, the next guy I walk up to, like not 5 minutes later, big guy. I knew him by that time already. He's got cowboy boots on, blue jeans, belt, big revolver on his hip, beautiful Western shirt, cowboy hat, and a sheriff's badge. And the badge said, Gardener. Second Chronicles 23:17, about Shema, which said the Philistines invaded Israel and all Israel fled, but Shema took a stand in the garden, the lentil patch in the garden, and defeated the Philistines, slew 1,000 Philistines. And I said the same thing to this guy. I said, I'm not going to say it. That helps. Okay. I said, I believe that 3 million refugees are going to come here. And he goes, oh, no big deal. He said, every broadleaf plant is food. Juice it, whatever. You cook it, blanch it. Even you can eat poke salad. Poke salad, Annie. Poke salad, Annie. You can eat poke salad. You just have to cook it. You have to know how to cook it. It's edible. It'll kill you if you don't eat it. If you don't blanch it, cook it right, it can kill you. I knew the lady, in fact, Michael Stocker that came here, his wife, she's going to be an herbalist. She ate some poke salad, and was she was dying. She actually ground it out. She laid down on the earth, I don't know, prone, face on her face, something, and she detoxed through the earth. And I did that with some nicotine sulfate one time. I was dying, killing my nerves. Couldn't even move. I slid downstairs on my stomach and lay down the concrete floor, face on it, neck, everything, and it detoxed me. Anyway, that was an attempt from Jezebel to kill. Yep. Oh man, a lot of attempts. So far, they've only been attempts, and I believe that'll continue. I believe that Father's, been protecting me and helping me. So, I just want to. Okay, I already did a video on him. I said, go back and look at if you want to hear the story or whatever I tell in that one, I don't even know what I said, but the gardener, Guardner, the guy that was guarding the garden, the gardener passed away today. Was the title of it, and I'm trying not to think about it too much more. I went to the funeral, and I don't know what it means. I don't know why. There's people and times in my life that are just so significant. I was driving down the highway one time on Highway 13, and my phone rang, and I pulled over and talked to the guy. And a really good friend, he said, Jerry, I just found out that my wife's been committing adultery with my best friend for years. He was living on their property. I can't say the names, obviously. Living on their property in their house that they let him live in. And when he's out working, they're, doing their thing. It's I didn't know who to call. You're the first one I thought of, so I called you. Guess what? Now, let me fast forward. So after my divorce, the first person I called was Jonathan David Brown. He was the executive producer for Petra's first 5 albums. Platinum albums. Petra rock band, Captain Crunch, Greg X Volts was the lead singer originally. But we talked a long time, several times we talked. I have videos about him too. Jonathan David Brown, he did a book called the Keeping Yahweh's Appointments. For those of you who believe in Yahweh, you might want to read that book. For you that are keeping Sabbath on Saturday, Saturnalia Day, you might want to read that book. There's several books on the subject, but you're not going to listen to me, so why did I even say that? I'm sorry. I apologize. Scratch that from the record. Nobody listens. Anyway, he died on my birthday. It was really very weird. He called me Uncle Jerry. I went to his funeral. Celebration. Whatever you want to call it. Celebration. Promotion. And it was an awesome ceremony. It was an interesting. The memorable events. I'm just going over some memorable events in my life. So, it was a meandering money trail. I'm sorry. I'm getting to the spiritual warfare part, so hang on. I'm going to start reading some books, people. We need to open our eyes, or we're going to be blinded forever. We need to hang together, or we're going to be hung separately. Just can't believe the way people treat people. Where's the other one? Where is it? Come on. What didst thou do with it? Oh, man. Hey, Jim, how you doing? God bless. Get in. Hey, you got on. Wife. Where's my darn stylus? Okay. I didn't do that. Ah, man. I hate it when it does that. Are you sure you want to do that action? No. I didn't. Sorry. It was a signal stall. Yeah, I don't know what happened. And I got it on, it should be on. Really? All right. Intermission's over. Get back to work. Get back to your break's over. Get back to your back on your heads. I'll say so. Where was I? I have no idea. The extraordinary measures. Thank you, whoever gave that. I think it was Ed and Jen. I'm not sure, but extraordinary measures with Brendan Fraser and Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford and Brendan Fraser. Sorry, get them in the order. Their pecking order. Um. So yeah, that movie was phenomenal. So I was at the Gardener, Joseph Bennett, and yeah, that's why I got disrupted, so I could not have a total breakdown. Okay, so anybody on? Three. I lost a couple of people. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Chief. So Joseph Bennett, I'm out there and he got a sheriff thing on, and Gardner, the sheriff badge says Gardner, Second Chronicles 23:17. Shammah took his stand in a lentil patch in the garden and defeated the Philistines. And I said to him, what about the thing about 3 million people? And he goes, yeah, every broadleaf plant is food. We have plenty of food here in Missouri for 3 million people. Now, then he said, what I'm doing is, I said, I'm raising money, fundraising, like raising money, and my initial goal is $500,000. You tell me you can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you, people, you cannot make this stuff up. $500,000 is my initial goal. But my overall goal, I want to raise $10 million. And what's it going to do with that $10 million? For communications and for, to defend the garden. He wanted to reinstate. His plan was to reinstate the Missouri State Guard, not the National Guard. The National Guard's under federal control, supposedly. But the Missouri State Guard, similar, military force designed to defend the state, not go over to Iraq and Bosnia and Somalia and all the other places where we made the world safe for the New World Order. That's all we're doing out there. We're not doing anything good, that's for damn sure. We went into Afghanistan. Why are we going to Afghanistan? Because of Afghanistan. Anybody know why we went into Afghanistan? Tell me. I'm not going to say it right away. Pop it out real quick. Why did we go into Afghanistan? Come on. Missed it by that much. Why did we go into Afghanistan? I'm going to tell you. We went into Afghanistan because the Afghanistan government had given, in their Inside Outsider, the Afghanistan government had given any farmers who are willing to participate saffron bulbs, kind of like garlic bulbs, saffron bulbs, to plant. You plant them in September, and they're contract with them to give them the bulbs and then take 50% of the harvest. Okay? And you could make about as much money growing saffron as you could growing opium. But we couldn't have that, so we went in and made the world safe for opium growers. For opium, not growers, but dangerous for growers, but made the world safe for having a good supply of opium. Thanks to our government. So. Saddam Hussein, Libya, Muammar Gaddafi. He had the Africa. He wanted to have Africa on the gold standard. He built a water supply for the whole country. Anyway, enough bad stuff. So Brandon Fraser, this Gardner, $500,000, $10 million overall. Is that a coincidence or what? I mean, just amazing, just so amazing. So that was on Saturday, right? We saw the movie. My partner told us about it on like Wednesday. We got the movie on Friday. I went to the picnic on Saturday, and oddly enough, the last person that helped found the Wolfhead Neighbor Alliance was there, and Galen Chadwick got everybody that was on the founding committee out of the city of Springfield, except for that one woman. She was a single mom with 3 children. I got her out later. It was about 2000 something or other. I don't know. 13, probably 13, 14, something like that. Got her out to farm in Wheatland, Missouri. Oh, God. Bunny trails. Okay, I'm not going to go into that one at all. That's complicated. So the 500,000, $10 million. So Monday morning, before I'm really awake, it might have been 10 o'clock, but I wasn't, I'd stay up all night, researching, and wasn't really quite awake. And the phone rings. I was still laying in bed, and I answered, and this is Joe. Well, Joseph Bennett was the guy I had just met Saturday and talked to. And phone rang, and this is Joe, and it's going on and on about raising money and investments and all this kind of stuff. Very similar to what I heard Joseph Bennett talking about. And he, right off the bat, he says, I consider you an authority over me. I'm like, what? And he said, well, you have this job to do. And I said, well, I'd really be happy if someone else would do it. I'd be happy to be their Sam. If they're Frodo, I'd rather be Sam. I'd rather just be their servant, be their helper, be their secretary, be their gopher, be their whatever, their assistant. He said, nope. He said, you can't get out can't get out of the job that easy. Moses tried it with God and it didn't work. It ain't gonna work with you. So, whatever. Like I said, Moses didn't go out in one day and say, I think I'm gonna spend 40 years in the desert and then go out and I think I'm going to go out and spend 40 years being great. I'll just say it this way. One of the first books I read as a new believer was Henrietta Mears, What the Bible is All About. And in that she said, Moses spent 40 years thinking that he was somebody. Then he spent 40 years finding out that he was a nobody. And then he spent 40 years finding out what God can do with a nobody. Well, I tried out 20. I spent 20 years of my life thinking I was somebody, 20 years of my life finding out I was a nobody. Not quite, about 25 or 30 years, whatever, maybe 30, I don't know. But in the year 2015, I came to the conclusion, there was like ton of bricks realization, I'm nobody. I mean, I am nobody. I am a nobody who has been nowhere and done nothing. Nothing important, didn't do anything. And I said that one time to the doctor who would have been the expert witness at my wife's legal proceeding bullshit for the baby that the hospital killed. He had just said, I've been to India 17 times, and I was like, oh, really? Well, I'm a nobody who's been nowhere and done nothing, and he's fired right back with, Marcellus Vogel was head of IBM Research for 17 years, and he invented one of the greatest things in the history of the world. The Vogel cut crystal. And he said Thomas Edison was a nobody. His whole life he thought his mother told him he was a genius, and that the school wanted her to take care of him better. He found out like after she died, he found a letter and said the school had said he was an idiot. She said the school said he was a very special person and needed special care. So he said Tesla was an idiot. I mean, it was a. I'm sorry. Tesla was a nobody. Homeschooled. Edison's Medicine. Yeah, it's a great song. Tesla, the group Tesla, they do a song called Edison's Medicine. It's a great song. So, Joseph Bennett, you know, no problem, plenty of food. 3 million. Well, I'm not at 3 million refugees anymore. People, it's 40 million refugees. Get ready. If you don't think you have, when I told my son about Rock, he said, "God, we don't have time. We don't know. I can't help you." My other son said, "I can't help you." My other son didn't even reply. But my oldest son said, "Dad, we don't have room for anybody more. Any people here, any of your people here. I keep bringing these lowlifes in, all these scum, and people don't like it." Well, guess what? You were a scum once that God brought here. I had a guy in Arkansas tell me, "Don't tell people to come here. We don't want them here." You came here from the state of Washington. The guy that fired at me, guess that's really weird. The guy that fired at me, when I said 3 million people, and said, "You know how fast starvation sets in?" He is from Washington. Those of the guys were custom harvesters in Washington, came here with, $1 million or whatever, bought nice farms and everything, and pretty disgusting. We don't want anybody here. We can't feed them. Yeah, we can. God can do it. Maybe I can't, but God can. He can bless 5 loaves and 2 fishes, 2 loaves and 5 fishes, whatever the hell it was. 5 loaves and 2 fishes, yeah. And feed 5,000 people. He can do it in Missouri. Especially when Missouri has the capability to do it. Missouri used to ship. I wish I could get the text of the thing. Look up White Paper, Galen Chadwick. January 3rd, 2009. Wolfhead Neighbor Alliance kickoff dinner. He called it the White Paper. We call it Galen's Golden Age of Missouri speech. About the year 1900, we were shipping apples, hundreds of varieties of apples, hundreds of types of potatoes, to the East Coast, to Canada, down to the Mexican border, and to the Rockies. Trainloads and trainloads and trainloads of food were grown and shipped out of Missouri. Missouri farmers used to go to the banks with their heads held high. They had huge plantations and, best equipment and stuff. Anyway, that's a really cool speech that he did. We were just floored by it. It was awesome. So, yeah, Missouri can feed a lot of people. When I saw that thing code cracking in 2013, what it was, my youngest son Isaac was standing by me, and I said, "This is the greatest code cracking in the history of." No, I saw the thing about Missouri, Mitzrayim, Egypt. The word for Egypt is Mitzrayim, and he said, "Dad, that looks like Missouri." And I said, "Don't be an idiot, no, or don't be stupid. Don't be silly. One of the two. Stupid or silly was one of the two. I don't remember which." I turned back down the computer and I said, "This word Mitzrayim can be translated into English as Miseri or Misuri. Missouri or Missouri." I turned back around and said, "I apologize. I'm sorry. You're right. It looks like Missouri to me." Little fart was very intuitive. He's been very intuitive for a long time. They got into computer games and stuff, and I think he wiped it out. Very sad. Very, very good healer. Intuitive and an empath. But hate to see people losing gifts. God give you gifts for a reason, to use them, to make them stronger, to exercise them like a muscle. Make it stronger, exercise it, use it, improve it. Don't just bury it. Let's say about the guy that buried the talents, the 2 talents, the 1 talent. Depart from me. Make use of what you have been given. Okay, so Joseph Bennett. We have far more capability than we're making use of. And on that note, I just want to say that, this whole thing of, I don't know why. I have no idea why I'm where I'm at. And I know why I'm at where I'm at. I think I know where I'm at. But people say, making fun of me or whatever, that's fine. I don't care. I ain't doing this because I want to do it. I'm not doing it because I believe I'm anybody. I just said I'm nobody. I am nobody. Which is about the only thing that gives me hope, because God uses nobodies. He uses the weak things of the world to confound the mighty, and the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And He uses the things that are nothing to bring to nothing the things that are. So there's your. If you want to insult me and make fun of me, go ahead. I don't care. So, okay, what are we going to do about it? Well, spiritual warfare, it's like if you know the enemy, if you want to defeat the enemy, you got to know the enemy to some degree. So, at least be aware that he exists. The same people, the same morons that excommunicated me from their precious little group that wasn't even a church, they had no right to do what they did. Do not believe that there's a devil. Don't believe there's angels. Don't believe in demons. Because some idiot told them that. And they say they believe the Bible and only the Bible. Well, like I said, if you believe the Bible and only the Bible, you don't know the Bible. There's nobody that can do that. So, what I want to do is start reading some books, and there's 3 different sets of books, I think. I don't know if I'm going to bounce between all 3 of them or not. I don't know. I have no idea. But one is the Spirit Flyer series. And it's a children's book, like teenage, I think young teens. I'm not sure how old, 12. I'm guessing 12, 13. So if anybody has children that are 12, 13, that'd be a good book for them. There's about 8 of them at least. I mean, 9, 10, I don't know. Anyway, I probably might only read 1, 2, maybe 3. The first 4 are they really are good. And not to say all of them are not good, but they're good. The other set of books is 2, maybe 3 books, This Present Darkness and Piercing the Darkness. I don't know which one was first, by John Beebe. Both of these books have to deal with spiritual warfare and being allowed the veil to be taken back and be able to see the enemy and the workings of the enemy. So they're both very, very good. And then another book's kind of a different tack, but I'd like to read some from the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, because there's a lot of good insight there on good and evil, the war between good and evil. And some people are like, I'm not C.S. Lewis. Well, stuff it. I don't want to hear it. Don't bother saying anything if you don't like them. Just don't listen. If I get around to reading it, should I live that long? So I've been taking the task about talking about C.S. Lewis from 2 people. They keep quoting people that are dead. And I think they probably died because they were jerkwads, idiots. And God didn't appreciate what they were doing. So anyway, all right, that's about it. So let me show you the book here. I got it here. I'm not going to dig it for the other one, but this is, camera's over here. Oh, the book, if I can't see it, The Magic Bicycle. And it's the Spirit Flyer series. Camera's bad, huh? He needs to get a better phone, I'll tell you that. One guy that's going to come down here and help me came up here from Arkansas. Very sad story. had an awesome testimony. He was a whiz with a camera. He had a Samsung Galaxy 10 or 11 or something like that, and he said it's a phenomenal streaming and good camera, phone and everything. He's going to help me do videos and stuff. And on the way up here from Arkansas, he had spiritual warfare going on, and Jezebel took over. He came here for one night. 2 weeks later, he was dead. A few days later, I don't know how long, but within a couple weeks, he was dead. And he failed. I think my take on it is, this is my insight, because I've seen it happen twice now. Somebody was used to try to kill me, and they failed, and Jezebel doesn't like failure. They're both dead. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be making more of it than I ought to, but I've seen it happen twice, and I think it'll happen more often. Jezebel hates the prophetic ministry, and she tries to kill the prophets. I heard from, I couldn't say who, but standing over me in a very guttural voice said, "I'm going to destroy you." Yeah, you all can guess who that was. I'm not going to tell you. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, very weird stuff, people. If you don't see the evil behind the voices in your head, you're not heading in a good direction. So I'm hoping that people take note and listen to these books as I read them. My throat's about shot, so I'm gonna quit. So I'm gonna look at the comments. So definitely, I thought there were quite a few. I didn't know there were. I thought there were only a few, but it looks like there were quite a few. So I'm gonna look at them. Try to dig up some more water here somewhere. Laugh at me and show the content of your heart. You're wrenching my heart there, buddy. Got a blue wrench there. Yep, Ike, you got it dead. Oh man, yeah, yeah. I can't tell you how many times that happened. I said youngest son, yep. Like one time I told you this one about the salt pipe. This is so critical. Punch holes in the bottom of a white vitamin bottle, soft plastic vitamin bottle. Put sea salt in it. Screwed the lid on. It would put me to sleep. In 3 baths, I'd stop breathing. Well, he got sick and had a virus and started coughing. And for 3 nights, he was coughing. Every time he coughed, I'd wake up. It'd wake me up. 3rd night, I'm like, I can't take this anymore. Within the next second, he was at the bath towel of our door. The doorway was the bath towel, Sister-in-law got us those nice door handles. I said, "Ooh, look, Leah got us nice door handles for all of our towels." He's at the towel and he switched it open and he goes, "Dad, I can't take this anymore. Can you make me some colloidal soap, nebulizing me with colloidal soap?" And boom, yeah. So intuitive, so healing. My shoulder was so bad I couldn't hardly move it. It was excruciatingly painful. And I asked my wife to work on it, and she did for about an hour. I mean, she did her quantum touch stuff, And I said, I could work on my shoulder because he'd learned a little bit of it, and his fingers was like doing this, for about 3 seconds, I think, literally less than 10 seconds. And he walked out of the room. I went, "Dang, you didn't do nothing." I've moved on. Like, wow, dude, he's healed. So he very definitely had a gift of healing. I don't know if it was the scientific part of it or just the natural, but very, very intuitive. Another one, really weird one. Here's a really weird one, We are going to Passover, the first Passover at a church, whole thing. And I've been thinking about, scepter, because I believe that we have, as a prophet, priest, and king of my household, and lineage, that I have the ability to give a blessing and a birthright to my sons, one of them or 2 of them, whatever, if it splits or whatever. And I was thinking, what is my scepter? What is my scepter? We get there, and Isaac walks up to me with Sam and says, "Dad, I brought this just in case you need to use it." Oh my gosh. Let me explain what Sam is. Sam is my nickname for a Samjok. Sambjok. It's a South African crowd control device. Okay. Some of you are gonna love this one. Some of you are gonna go, oh, he's weird. Okay, a samjuk is a piece of rawhide, a big round, 4 foot, 6 foot long piece of rawhide, depending on how far the leather would stretch out and twist. They'd twist it and stretch it, and it was very hard. And you could kill someone if you hit them in the neck. You could kill them. You could break the back of their head with it. Crush their skull, stop their skull, but it would cut the carotid artery. You could do a lot of damage with it. And it was made from, get this, the penis of a Cape water buffalo. So some Cape water buffaloes are bigger than others. Some are heftier than others. So some of them are longer than others. So anyway, that's what a samjuk is. So I was sitting there. I was actually standing there, going, "What is my scepter?" And Isaac walked up to me with a scepter. He said, "Dad, here's Sam in case you need to use it." And what Sam was is okay. I was very patriarchal back then, but if my kids did something wrong, I believe the Bible says discipline your children. So Sam it was a cold steel imitation of it. It was plastic, but it was still about 4 feet long, and you could pack a wallop with it. So bend over, grab your ankles. Bam, bam, a couple of these swats to get their attention. The last person I spanked was Isaac with it too. He was already about a teenager, and I said, "Man, he pissed me off." And I said, "Bend over, grab your ankles." Whack, whack, whack. Anyway, so now oddly enough, somebody say, you can't do that. You can't do that. And some people will not touch their children because they might get arrested or ratted out by their kids. Well, don't bring your kids to be dumb shit fucking assholes. Sorry, pardon my French and all that. I had a word with a friend of mine yesterday afternoon, whatever, talking about her brother, son, nephew, what the hell it is, gonna go up to be just like his dad. I said, don't bring your kids up to be that way. Try to teach the children something I'm very against. I'm trying to help somebody be a godly, good person, and they're trying to oppose that and prevent that. I don't get it. And that's Jezebel. Jezebel's controlling the whole situation. 3 and 4 people at the same time. Okay. If anybody around here hears that, just put it in your pipe and smoke it. It's the truth. Okay, so yeah, Isaac, that was so cool. So, what we're dealing with here is spiritual warfare. I've started talking about my personal stuff going on, but yeah, the recurring theme here is Jezebel repeatedly trying to kill me and do damage to the ministry, destroy the ministry. Here, let me back up a little bit. The day of my Kangaroo Court Inquisition trial, okay, we were already divorced. It was already done deal. There's no way in hell it was going to ever go back. There's no way in hell I was ever going to get her back. She was done with me. She would have put a gun to my head. Okay, it was done. It was over. And they ordered me to kiss her ass, to take all my stuff offline and try to get her back. And I said, why would I do that? Why would I bow down to someone who has never shown me any allegiance as a husband or to the God I serve? So, I'm just covering the story here, and I don't know. What I see very definitely, whatever part, I don't really give a hoot about my personal, my life or nothing. As far as my part to play, I don't know. I don't care. Like I said to that one guy, I said, "Well, man, I can't. I would be happy for someone to come along and say, I'm going to take over for you." Oh, hallelujah! You want me to watch, polish your boots or do your dishes, wash your dishes, and cook for you. I've done that too. I cooked and did dishes. I washed the dishes. I peeled the sweet potatoes and cooked them. Washed the dishes, cooked, and everything for a Jezebel. And the thanks was that they'd locked me out of a cabin with my food and my everything I owned in there. Locked me out. And this wasn't just a day, it was like the rest of the time. No food. And they go shopping, and wasn't that delicious? Roast chicken or something. And I'm smelling it and going like, I'm hungry, man. Damn it. I had a can of tuna or something with nothing on it. Sorry. I'm not complaining, just explaining. Not explaining, just complaining. No, what I'm explaining is Jezebel. Jezebel takes control of things that she does not own, that she does not in her control, not supposed to be in her control. That is a repeated thing in my life. I've seen that over and over and over and over again. The man that did that, I knew was going to turn on me. I knew he was Jezebel before it even happened. And he used the exact same words as my wife did. You need to get your stuff and get out of here. Quote, unquote, word for word. You need to get your stuff and get out of here. He wasn't thinking with his brain. She wasn't thinking with her brain. They were thinking with Jezebel's brain. You ever hear those words? You need to get your stuff and get out of here? That was Jezebel talking, not your wife or not your girlfriend or not your husband or whatever. Jezebel is both male and female. Let me back up. Yeah. The kangaroo court day. Yeah. I had already seen very clearly that there was Jezebel spirit in this group, this meeting. And I'll just say them. Songs for His People, okay? Norm Farnham. So I'll just call out here. Songs for His People. Jezebel from hell. Okay? I just said to a man right next to me, he's from some other country, really neat guy. I said, the spirit of Jezebel is very strong in this group. And he goes, oh, there's no Jezebel here. At that very second, as the words went out of my mouth, Norm Farnham walked up to me and said, you need to come in this room. We're going to have a meeting. And I had no idea why, but it was my excommunication kangaroo court. Jezebel trying to destroy the prophet. And they ordered, what was this? I'd never seen this before. What did they order me to do? They ordered me to destroy my ministry. Norm Farnham and James Raymer, and who's that other dipshit? Mark Boatwright, who is a teacher of the stupid doctrine. There's no such thing as an angel. There's no such thing as demons. They do not believe in angels or demons. Mark Boatwright is a false prophet from hell, if he's still alive. Pastor Dan Gayman says that he believed that when men start teaching that, God kills them. And he gave me three examples of men who started teaching that. One was Sheldon Emery. Not that I dislike him, just they started teaching that there's no such thing as angels and demons. Poof, dead. Mark Boatwright needs the same thing. And he told me this. He said this. He said, Jerry, you have this focus on single mothers. He said, they'll be fine where they're at in the cities. You know, my response is, Mark, may you be caught in the cities when all hell breaks loose. May you be caught in the cities. May you be in the cities and see how fun it is when they're eating people, children, and dogs and cats. Shit. I have nothing good to say about that man. And James Raymer, I won't give you the right-handed fellowship. I'll give you the left-handed fellowship. And shook his big left-handed fist at me the size of a ham. And Norm Farnham is the head honcho Jezebel from hell. Sorry, but I've held it in for a long time. It's 7 years now. It's been 7 years. It's time for Jezebel to go to hell back where she belongs. Or whatever, be bound up and cast out. And it takes, Jehu. What was Jehu? Jehu was a general. He was he drives furiously like Jehu, Yeah, Jehu drove furiously. He ran up Jezebel and ran her into the wall and chewed her up and broke her bones and made her shredded her flesh against the wall. And the dogs came and ate everything except, remember this, the dogs ate everything except her head, the palms of her hands, and her feet. Those things are still alive, still around today doing damage. The head was the head. The head what you think with. The head is what gives you,
your words. That's where everybody's thinking with Jezebel's head. Jezebel's putting her thoughts, her mind into other people. Let me see one more time. Jezebel takes control of things she does not own. After the divorce, a few days after that, my ex-wife said, we don't want you anywhere on these 40 acres. She didn't know nothing. She didn't know a single acre. She didn't know nothing. Biblically, she's my property. Biblically, not in modern satanic society, but biblically, that's the way it is. The word for Hebrew word for husband is Baal, owner, master. And even in the New Testament, it says husbands should have their own wife. Own, it means owner. It wasn't wives should have their own husbands. That's a totally different Greek word. It means wife should have a husband. But anyway, Old Testament, New Testament, same thing. Jezebel takes control of things she does not own. Thomas took control of a cabin that he did not own and locked me out of it with my food inside, and I didn't have anything to eat. I didn't have any dishes to eat it off of if I did have any food. I mean, every once in a while I'd find a can of food or something that was out. Whatever. It was just very depressing time, very, very difficult time. And I want to give a shout out to Nathan Snow, the man that kept me alive for 7 years over the, just encouraging me and monetarily supporting me several times. Buying things from me, a salt, stove, oven. I need an oven. I want to get an oven. I didn't want to. It was my last one. I did not want to sell it, but I needed the money, and he was willing to get it, and he had I already sold him the stove, and had to pay the phone bill to keep doing this. People, just me being on here. Let me tell you this. Me doing this, it's $200 a month every month, $200 with really crappy equipment, and I've been doing it for. Since Galen told me, my wife and I went to meet with Pastor Joe Fox at High Prairie Acres in Kansas. Him and his wife Kate had a wonderful meeting, and he said, "You need to get on YouTube more." I have my Jerry Diamond channel, so I started the How to Get Out of Babylon channel. That's $200 a month, and I'm trying to provide things here, showers and shelter for people coming in. I have a couple trailers here. I mean, Rock's welcome to one. You need to come to an understanding with things. We need to help each other. And if we're not going to help each other, then ain't going to make it. Nobody's going to make it. I'm telling you this. If we don't pull our heads out of our asses, everybody's going to die. And that's what Jesus said. He said, except those days were shortened, all flesh would be, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days were shortened. Okay. Make sure I can pull up my Doosan thing here. If everybody spent 50% of their income helping other people, we'd be there. That's what I do. Where is the darn lid? I keep dropping them off the edge. Hold on. Lid. I'm gonna set it down. Don't fall over. That's an order. And that's an order. Okay, that's not cool. Get out of there. 25% is good enough. All right. I just sent it, so it should be here. Oh. I got down there. Come on. Okay. You read this. This is the name of the company that owns Bobcat. Okay, Bobcat's church has been an old-time American company, but they're owned by a company called Doosan from South Korea. Now, maybe Doosan probably bought them out over the years. I'm sure Bobcat was founded in America. But here's the meaning of their name. Dusan name. Our name, Dusan, a combined word of dew, a measuring unit of grains, and sand, mountain. It means little grains of sand that together make a mountain. Our name reflects our belief that a greater achievement can be made when everyone involved unites. Okay. That says everything, people. Everything. And until that happens, we got nothing. And I've been so close to quitting so many times. I mean, the day before I got a hold of, well, I think the day I got a hold of Timothy, I've already sent him a message. And I said, I was walking across the trailer here, and my back was so sore, so much pain, I couldn't hardly walk. And I said, God, I have to quit. I quit. I said, I quit. I cannot keep helping everybody else and not helping. I need help myself. I can't keep helping everybody and not helping myself. I need to do something for myself. I need to be healed. I need some help. Poof, Timothy was here the next morning, man. I'll tell you what. Oh, man. We are going to have so damn much fun. I'll tell you what. Yeah. That reminds me of another time in my life. We've been kicked out of the community, Mormon community, a little splitter community, and we had a men's lunch. Every day you had to go to men's lunch and waste time shooting the shit. Not working. It's just so dumb. One of the men's things that 2 of the trailers burned down because the guy's sitting there at lunch instead of being at home fixing his electric wiring. Every time it rained, there'd snap, crackle, pop inside the walls. They didn't do anything about it. Poof, burned down. Oh my gosh, what a waste! What a stupid waste. I gotta go to the men's meeting. Instead of throwing the breaker off. Okay. So anyway, we're saying Kent says I had the phrase that we used several times during the year we were there. I said, well, this is an experiment and an experience. For me, that's what I look at. This is an experience in community, and it's an experiment. So I'm sitting there, and Ken says, well, the experiment and the experience is over. And his son was sitting there with his hands like this, kind of resting on his hands on his arms, and his face about slammed into the table. I mean, human. And we talked about Ian building a house, and this one of the guys said, I won't help him build a house. And Helaman saw right, and I'll help him. I'm glad to help Ian build a house. So, really cool. The armies of Helaman, baby. How does the line promise go? Get in. Like the armies of Helaman. It's something about promise. Anyway. I don't know why I felt so scratchy. Probably because I'm going to be, I don't know. Okay, so, oh my gosh. Well, here's a really interesting thing. It's another wild hair, just related to some degree. I don't know if it has anything to do with spiritual warfare. Maybe there is. Jezebel, maybe. When Thomas locked me out of the cabin with my food inside, and then my prayer for him was that he needs to meet Jesus. He needs to spend. I prayed he needs to spend some time with Jesus because he was a sacred name, Yeshua, HaMashiach, and all that. How many hundreds of thousands of miracles have been performed in that name? I don't know. Anyway, that was my prayer. So he goes back to Collins, and the first person that comes there to live with him is Jesus, who people tried to starve through the years. My family was a big part of feeding him over the years. And then the day after we were evicted from the cabin, or from the cob house, we were from the community. Sorry, we were living in the cob house, and the day after we were told we had to leave, knocked on dock 8 o'clock in the morning. I kid you not, knock on the door. We heard that you have been. We heard what happened, and what we want to know what we can do. And the mom that was there has passed on now, but her son Larry is Jesus' best friend, I think. And Jesus and Larry have my 2 tablets. What the hell does that mean? Jeez. I have 4 devices, $200, so $100 a month every month goes to help Larry and Jesus. And Jesus said that they would, they both pay me $45 a month, but I don't care. He's helped me do a lot of stuff, and he's been a blessing to me throughout the whole 7 years. Basically, we've kept each other alive. I'll tell people that I hope people here do hear this. If everybody here treated me like Jesus has, I would not have had a stroke. I wouldn't have all the damage I've had. Wouldn't have all the freaking expenses, hospital expenses, and legal expenses, and all the other shit that's going on. I got to be careful, because an empath told me that the stroke was caused by grief. And I need to be not get too wrapped up in that. I'm not grieving. It's just weird. I'm not sorrowful. I'm just seeing what God is doing, and it hurts. People are so stupid and so evil. That's what hurts. Godless Christians. Godless Christians. We're gonna have so much fun. Oh, so much fun thing. Yeah, that reminded me of something. What was it? Hang on. Lessons here. So many. I'm seeing things that I've never made the connection of before. Wow. I was talking about Timothy, and oh yeah. So we were kicked out of the community, and the bigger part of the community. This is like maybe a cancer group was like a 10% break off. I don't know. One family was broken off from the 20 families or something. I don't know. At least 4 other ones. And because kids have kids, and kids have grandkids, and kids have, blah, blah. Anyway, so Ken had thrown us out of the community, and we had to figure out what the hell we're going to do. And about every 2 or 3 days, these 3 guys come knocking on our bang, 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 bang. We need you to get out of here. We need this house. And this is when one man became my lifelong best friend, Dwayne Hanson. He said he was with him the first time. There were 3 of them, him and the 2 guys. He was at the time in Philburg. And I said, I will get out of this house when I have a place for my family to live. I just go away and leave me alone. Well, the one guy put sugar in my tank, destroyed my van. Really nice van, Ford Aerostar van, standard transmission, awesome van. Anyway, destroyed it. That's why I have lock-in gas cap, baby. I've had 2 cars destroyed by that. 66 Volkswagen Bug. So anyway, so we went to the bigger part, and we're just like, what can I do? We'd like to build a house, and they said, well, you can build a house on our place here, and they actually dozed out an area, opened the gate, which is very unusual, which is later closed. So we have direct access to it because right at the very far northeast corner of their property. Oh my gosh. Yeah, are you hearing this, dude? Shit. So weird. Oh man. So that corner of that property now touches our property because our property went from 10 acres to 40 acres, and it now touches our property. Catty corner like that. That 600 acres is touching our 40 acres. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And the 10 acres that we had was a homestead. Was a part, well, the 10 acres was sold to an old couple who died. And the property next to it, I built an altar on also, was, that was the homestead of a 200-acre farm. They had people that had 200 acres. Yeah. Wow. So that 200 acres now is owned by the Mormon ranch. The FedEx driver who says, people call it the compound. I said, don't call it a compound. That's a ranch. That's a bunch of families there. Don't call that a compound. That's just so stupid. A compound. No, it's a ranch. It's a farm. It's a bunch of families with little children. Don't put your evil speaking on other people. There's going to be all kinds of weird people in the kingdom of heaven. There's going to be a lot of normal people in hell. A lot of godly people in hell. A lot of real holy people in hell. They thought they were holy. They thought they were godly. They thought they knew the Bible. They're going to be in heaven. They're going to be in hell. Okay, so we have an entry there. I want to do an underground house. I didn't know, cob, cordwood. First thing I found was cordwood, then cob. We, of course, lived in a cob house for a year, so that would have been the most intelligent thing to build because people had experience with it. But I want to do an underground house, so they were like cool with that. But he didn't doze out a place for it. He just leveled out an area and let us decide. They even put in a power pole for us. Yeah, $75 for a power pole and a meter. $75. What do you pay for them today? I don't know. So we're standing there, and this is we're gonna have so much fun. I was crying about something, and then I was reminded of Timothy being here and what a blast we had. I mean, we did a lot of work. We didn't get anywhere near the projects I wanted to do, rocket stoves and all the fun stuff that I enjoy. But we're gonna get to them. It's gonna be so much fun. And the other thing where that came from too was that already happened. This was in about 2003. Yeah. Many years later, something else happened. I've already told about Dwayne Hanson, and who was the guy that came to the door. And when he saw me stand up to those two guys and say no, stand to them three guys, him included, and say no, I will leave here when I have a place for my family to live. He said, "This is a man. This is a real man." And he says he cut loose from them, sort of, kind of. He married Ken Swift after Ken died. What does that mean? Oh my gosh. After the divorce, I'd be over here and we'd have almost every night we'd have a campfire, a bonfire. And I wanted to have this thing in my mind. I wanted to have a campfire every night until Dwayne showed up. I wish he would. I wish he would. I don't know what the hell he knows. The last time I saw him, he would preach me for a whole weekend. Jerry, you're the leader of the Ozark Plateau. There may be others, but you're it. Just do your what you got to call to do something that angel guy talked to me about. Oh, I didn't ever finish that story. The guy that said, about investments, the guy Joe. After about an hour on the phone with him, he said, "Well, something about." I said, "You live in Springfield, right?" He said, "No, I live in Texas." And I said, "Wait a minute, aren't you Joe Butler, Joseph Butler?" He goes, Joseph Bennett, JB." And he said, "No, it's Joe Butler." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I didn't know who it was, but he had told me, you do your job, God's given you a job to do, just do it. I really felt he was like an angelic messenger. He said, "I'm in, you're an authority over me," and wow. uh, yeah, Dwayne. So that one day, it was snowing, and he'd take me out to dinner. We had some beer, a 6-pack of beer, and sitting outside, and the fireplace had a rock ring there, and had a fire going, and started snowing. He's like, I went down and grabbed a pallet frame, these things that are 3x4, things I slid over siding, and handed one up to me, and he said, "Jerry, we're gonna have so much fun." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I knew what he meant. I never asked him. In my heart, what he meant was, Jerry, everybody's gonna be scared shitless, and they're gonna be killing each other. We're gonna have a lot of fun because we're gonna be doing what God's given us to do and what God's prepared us for our whole lives. And that's what he meant. I know it was. We built a little improvised shelter there and drank beer in the snowstorm. It was so cool. Had a lot of fun. And then when I was moving out, my wife said, "Get out of here and get your stuff out." And so that Bill let me use his car and his trailer. And I'm sitting there, and David Ray's helping me, and I'm like singing. And nobody's guessed that yet. You people, somebody should guess that. I can't even do it early. Somebody say it, come on. Jeez. Okay, so, and then Dave Ray goes, "I don't know if I keep helping you or beat you up, pound you into the ground." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, you're sitting there going to have, every few minutes you're saying, we're going to have so much fun. And you're humming that tune, And he said, "That's nuts." So anyway, because they bored people to death, sorry. Nobody's on anywhere. Yeah, that's a good one. They also probably two things: who is in hell and who ain't, or who is in heaven and who ain't. Yeah, very definitely. Um, that's why I got one single solitary. Oh, this will be out there for posterity's sake. People can listen to it tomorrow, next week, or next year, or next month, or whatever. I got to go finish up. So we're at 1 hour and a half. Hang in there, Gaddy Hunting. So this family gives us permission to build a house on their land, open a fence, kind of doze the area out and put in a power pole for us. They kind of were cleaning up this other guy's messes all the time. I think my wife said they're the ones that go around with a shovel cleaning up Ken's shit. But so we're standing out there, and I was so depressed. My son Ian was the only one there, and I was standing there, and I said, I don't know if I should just kill myself. I was so depressed, so distraught, so upset. And then I looked at the thing that where Daryl had cleared out for the dozer, and I said, "Man, we could build a pole barn here and have a place for people to be sheltered." And Ian looks at me and he goes, "Dad, I will never, as long as I live, I will never understand you. How you can 1 second be so depressed and the next second be thinking about helping people." So that's what I am. That's juxtaposition there. That's who I am. Sorry. I can be depressed as hell, but I'm still thinking about the big picture and how to help people. And it went from 3 million to 40 million. So some of you out there, some of those people, you need to get here. Help me. So anyway, that's about it, I guess. I don't know. Spirit Flyer series and Chronicles of Narnia, This Present Darkness, Piercing the Darkness. And I want to read, the first one I made it a solar flare because I want to read that because it relates to my City on the Hill theme that I got going. So, all right, well, I'm going to say goodbye. My throat's gone. I'm tired and everyone's listening anyway, so I'm not going to hold my piss forever. Say never forever hold my piss. Ed and Jen, how you doing tonight? I hope everybody rewatches this later. Put down here I can see it. And put this back up there so you can see me. Come on, don't do that. Why does everything have to not cooperate? Why can't it just something cooperate once in a while? Speaking of hell, I think that Mr. Murphy should be tried, executed, hung, shot, raped, tortured, and then sent to hell. Murphy's Law, you know. Murphy's probably a demon. Nephilim. The chat's gone again. Doggone it. Come on, there it goes. I'm going to go talk in the sea. Good night, Ed and Jen. Sweet people. Thank you so much. Tony, get your ass down here, bud. How you doing? Yeah, Jen, I'd like to have another phone call sometime. As long as you don't laugh. You're not allowed to laugh, Jen. I can't understand you when you laugh. Jack's the same way, doggone. She's even not worse, but I don't know. Who yucks it up the most? You gotta be tough to go, yep, I'm tough. Your cart would be, I must have said something about a cart, I don't know. Jen got it. Good night, Jen. Thank you, Timothy. That was so, yeah, you're spot on. A little late now, but okay. What was the highlight of your day? I don't know. My son depositing the money in the bank so I could have pay for the 2 sheds. Yeah, that's a good one. They asked what was the highlight of your day. Well, the highlight of my day was the fact that people went to town, didn't bother to, even though they knew I needed to get money in the bank to pay for 2 sheds for somebody else. One for Rock, one for Dave, hopefully. And hold on, I got to do something. Fiddly dee, maybe. Where is it? They didn't bother to get the deposit, so about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Ian came over to change the filters on the loader, and I told him I said I need to get this money in the bank, or I can transfer money and you can put it in tomorrow. But he said no, I'll get it in, and he did. I don't know how, but he got it in, and he finished the dozer and took off and made it to the bank. So, hallelujah. I mean, I had $100 refund, and I spent it to get hopefully toward shelter for people, for storage for people. Which I wish that Mormons over there would build a big storage unit for everybody around here. They just don't feel the need, I guess. Oh well. And a bomb shelter too would be really intelligent. I told Tom and Mark that a long time ago. I said, you guys need to be your own bank. You need to start printing money, and you need to build a bomb shelter. Nobody's done it yet. Nobody listens to me. So anyway, that was the highlight of my day. So anyway, Ian got to the bank and made the deposit, so my checks wouldn't bounce. I got some good stuff today. I got so many fun projects to do. I'm looking forward to them. I really am. And Timothy's going to come back as soon as I can. I hope soon as he will. Soon as possible. Whatever, Oh my God. Hallelujah. Nehemiah. All right. So back to it. Oh, four. Hey, guys. Somebody else is on there. Good night, something, Jan. Yeah. Yeah, Sherry Menders. Yeah, 2010. Here's for Brendan. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can get over to Sheet Simply Jan one of these days. I'd like to get over there with Sherry. Sherry McKinstry, the channel, YouTube channel Sherry McKinstry. People look her up and subscribe and give her some, share some of her videos and stuff. She's a gardener, really good gardener. I know saffron is more expensive, more intensive, but you can make as much money growing it though. That's what they said. Al Einstein wouldn't tie his own shoes. Speaking of idiots, he was not a genius though. Everybody thinks he's a genius. He was not. He was a plagiarist, a thief, a liar, and a very immoral man. Very disgustingly immoral man. He was a Jew. All right. Anyway, good night, everybody. I'm gonna say good night and bye. Gaddy Anton here, about the only one on. Timothy, you're still on. Good night. Can't wait to have you back over here. Tomorrow would be nice. And dude, show up anytime. I don't care if it's midnight. Show up. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You come out. Just come out whenever you want. Oh wow, wow! What a lot of insights. Insight. An outsider came in. I got insight. Wow. Holy crap. That was mind-boggling there. Made connections I haven't ever seen before. I don't know, telling all that stories. Is there any other story that I need to tell Gadiant and anything else about this whole thing that you see? Or Timothy, either one of you are still on? 4 people on, oh my gosh. Anybody that's been on, anything else I should wrap up with? Sing a song. I can't sing a song. I'm sorry, my voice is shot to hell. Maybe we'll sing. My throat's a little, my chin is a little strong, flogged up. Get a salt pipe. I don't have a salt pipe handy. Can anybody name that tune? Do 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 do. Timothy, come on. Name that tune. That's what I was humming the day that my wife told me to get my stuff out of the house with David Ray. I only see two. See two what? Somebody all think we're going to hell. Said planning, no matter which way we go, we just try. Who is this somebody? Give me another one clue that only I can know. Or give me initials or something. G-A? Not K-A. PB. All right. Name that tune, baby. For $100, name that tune. No words, nope. Two watchers, yeah. Let me see. Two people on. I got hit for it though. A strike for it, or what do you call it? Sony hit me for it. I think it was. I don't know what else I hummed, but that one. Unless they're stealing something that I wrote. That's Luke's theme from Star Wars. And the scene was when he's sitting there with his both hands on one knee up on a rock, and there's two moons in the sky. This is on Tatooine, the desert planet where he's working with his uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And the decision, the thing that spoke so clearly, forcefully to me, and I would cry every time I saw it, and every time I hear it, Of course, I weep at the sound of distant music, all good, like a podium clavatum, homeopathic constitution remedy peoples. Anyway, to me, it was a decision, do I stay here and be safe and work the farm with my Uncle Owen, help him with harvest, or do I go off and fight the Empire, the evil Empire? And of course, to me, that was a choice he had. He could have stayed and been safe and died with his Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru as the stormtroopers came in and shot him. These last bunch are too precise for stormtroopers. There's no sandcrawlers. So anyway, yeah, that's what that movie said to me, and so that was my theme. That was I was humming when I had to get my stuff out. So and say I'd see something that I invented or something I designed or something that I had hacked, parts for it, and I go, oh, we're gonna have so much fun when I build these. And I hope it have. I got to go and do some excavation, dig in the dirt, because I got a couple projects over there buried. Three projects buried over there. I got to dig them up. Yeah, a lot of stuff to get out of over there. Wow. All right, guys. Yeah, bless everyone. I'm going to say goodnight. And for the last time, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to see if anybody's got anything to say. It's kind of fun doing this, but Ian, Tatooine. Yeah. Sarge, how you doing? Hey, Sarge, if you're on right now, what state are you in, or other than confusion or exasperation or panic? What state are you in? What part of the country? You're East Coast, right? Actually, he was a financier from Sick. The old man said, surprised. SLC. St. Louis County. A little bit more hits there. SLC, is that the name? Hang in, bro. Okay, good. Financier from SLC. St. Louis County? No. Salt Lake City? Okay. The old man said surprised. Is it somebody I know personally? Or just one of the prophet people guys? Yeah, I got that. Are you still out in Kansas? You say you're from Kansas. Are you here in Missouri, or are you still in Kansas? 'Cause another friend of mine just moved to Kansas. Or where was he at? He was in Topeka and he got out. And he's better than he was. He's out in the western Kansas plains, flatlands. His wife didn't want to come to the Ozarks, so they went out to the plains. He's maybe about 4 hours away. He's not too bad. He can make it. So you still in Kansas, Sarge, or just from Kansas? I went to sleep in Kentucky and I woke up in the Ozarks. Still in Kansas. Still in Kansas. Charlie Daniels band. Still in Saigon. Yeah. Whereabouts are you? Southeastern, northeastern, southwestern, or northwestern Kansas, Sarge? Or what county? I guess I don't, oh, no, I don't recognize the county, so that don't do me any good anyway. What big city or what city are you nearest? That would be a good question. You're in Kansas, you're not too far away, so. Drive now or walk later, baby. All right, that's it. You mentioned one of the coolties. You guys gotta be so. All right, well, good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there, Gad. Good night, people.